All right, ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here, and welcome to How to Trade in a Bear Market. And I've received this question numerous times from different people, so it's definitely a popular one. So first and foremost, we'll define what a bear market is and what a bull market is. A bear market is essentially a slash, as a bear slashes downward, and it's a seller dominant market, meaning basically the price is going down. And a bull market is considered to be a bull because it thrusts its horns upward, and that is the good market that everybody loves because it is going up and everybody's buying. So there's also sort of a big difference between the crypto market and the stock market. At one point I had about $72,000 in mutual stock, and it was I had an investor, and he was pretty much scared of nothing. So he basically saw bear markets as opportunities. If there was a depression that came along like 2008, he said, no problem. You just simply buy more in that situation. And there's a lot of things that help you in the stock market situation when having bonds and mutual stock in a diversified portfolio that don't really apply to the cryptocurrency world just yet, as it isn't regulated. So the one good thing about fiat is that it is regulated by a central bank. And I know everybody hates the central bank for the most part, and that's fine. I do too. But it is regulated to some degree. And so basically, if you have a portfolio of mutual stock, generally you have a big bond in there as well, like a government bond. So when the stock market goes down, your bond remains the same, or it goes up. And usually bonds go up when the economy goes down. So then it sort of evens you out and it keeps you steady. So normally the bond just sort of sits around. It's a very lame portion of your portfolio, and it really doesn't do anything. So like if the market is just fine, your bond is kind of meh, and sometimes it's losing money. But if it's sort of a defensive measure against a bear market. Now, cryptos don't really have that, so there's no regulated markets just yet with cryptocurrency. There's not a lot of mutual markets and things like that. They're thinking about coming out with them, but they need Bitcoin to become much more stable than it is now. So you have a few options in a bear market. One example is that I had bought some Bitcoin not too long ago at about 5,800. And it hasn't really reached that price since, and that's okay because I have three options. The first option that I like to consider is you just sit and hold, and I know that's a very obvious option, and perhaps that scares a lot of people. But let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart here over time. So just a month ago, not even a month ago, on the 10th and 11th, Bitcoin was at $4,800. In one day, it shot up to 5,600, and now it's back down, or it shot up to about 5,800, over 5,800. And then at the moment now, it's about 5,600. At its lowest point, it got 5,200-ish, somewhere around there. So not a big deal at all. It's really just a waiting game at this point, especially with the Bitcoin gold fork coming up on the 25th of October. A lot of people are buying into Bitcoin right now so that they can get that fork when it's in their wallet. So you'll get equal amount of Bitcoin gold that you have in your wallet as Bitcoin. And that might be a video for a different time. I'm not sure, but there's plenty of information out there on the Bitcoin gold fork already. So basically, A is just sit and hold. B is buy some more. So at this point right here, if you would have bought at 5,200, I think it actually got a little bit lower than this, but it's not showing me exact times. It's flipping around with hours because I have the month on. Let me pull it back a little bit more here. I think I might pull it back to the day. Yep, and it got down to 5,100. So if you would have bought at 5,100, it's now $600 difference, and that is in less than a day. So if you had one whole Bitcoin and you just bought at 7:12 a.m. this morning, you happen to get it around this point, you would have made about $400 or $500, which is really, really good. And so if you were stuck at 5,800 and you just had a little bit of fiat, maybe you just got paid or something like that, and you can afford to put a little bit more down, you could have bought at this dip separately and then sold to here. And then from there you could sell and sit and hold until it sells at the bigger price that you really want it to sell it at, initially, and just sit there and wait. You just buy more, and you just wait longer for it to go back up, or you just trade within that dip after you buy more. Another one is just what you do is you just sell if it's not too big of a deal for you. So right now I'm stuck at about 5,800. If I sold, I wouldn't lose that much money. It wouldn't be much at all. And then I could trade within this dip. But me personally, I feel that Bitcoin is going to go back up, so I don't need to do that. But if you look at the dip here, we can take a 1 week. Let's say you bought at 5,800. All these days that went by, you could have actually remade more of your money. So if you were to just say, oh, okay, sell this date, you were tired of the low price, and you sold it at 5,600 or 5,700, you could have been trading in these dips here. So you could have sold, bought, sold, bought, sold, bought. And as it goes on and on, I'm sure you can extrapolate that, and you just, on the high points, sell, low points, buy. And you could have remade your money back fairly easily by doing this. But see, the thing is hindsight is 2020 when it comes to the stock trade, to the crypto trade. So at this point, you wouldn't be able to see this point of the chart. I can't see past this chart. If I could, I'd be a man of the future, and I would be able to make a lot of money. So you can't tell. So in 3 hours, it could go back up to 5,800. I'm actually expecting it to. It's getting to Thursday and Friday, and Friday and Saturday are generally the highest cryptocurrency prices. It's generally just because people get paid on Fridays, people get paid on Thursdays, kind of thing. And then they take that money and they buy a little bit more Bitcoin, and it raises the price. So, and especially with the Bitcoin gold fork coming up on the 25th, a lot of people are just hoarding Bitcoin. They're just trying to buy as much as possible so that they get that split, and then they can sell or hold that Bitcoin gold. Nobody knows what the price of Bitcoin gold is going to be, but likely a lot of people think it's going to be about a quarter of the price, maybe an eighth of the price. So not that much in terms of, but it could be a good way to make a lot of money. So right now, if you want to get in on that, you need to buy as much Bitcoin as possible, and then have it sit in your either Coinbase account. A lot of people recommend buying a mechanical wallet for your. They're like a USB stick kind of thing, and they basically hold your Bitcoin for you. I'm gonna clear my throat. And with those, basically what happens is, however much Bitcoin you have, when this fork happens, it will give you an equal amount of Bitcoin gold, and Coinbase will do it. So if you have your Bitcoin on Coinbase, they will promise you that Bitcoin gold. At first they weren't going to do that, but they changed their mind because everybody yelled at them, so they changed their mind. But you won't actually receive your Bitcoin gold till January 1st, so they're being really slow about it. But either way, you're gonna get that Bitcoin gold if you have it on Coinbase. So buy a whole bunch, and then you'll get an equal amount of Bitcoin gold. And then you can just sell that and make some quick profits. So that's pretty much the best advice I have for trading in a bear market, and it's sort of the bane of a trader's existence is a bear market. Nobody really likes a bear market. Very few people win in the bear market. Let's take a look at a big dip if we can find one here. There really isn't with Bitcoin. Maybe Litecoin a little bit more. So this was the big dip with Litecoin. It was $81 or so, close to 90, and it just really dove down to the 40s. So those who sold right here at this, at this point, when they realized that this was going down, and had the hindsight to do that, were the winners. But everybody else down here lost. And that's sort of the way the stock market works, is that people want to buy lower and sell higher. And the only way to do that is to have some losers. Period. Because you can even set up a thought experiment in your head and think you could have a few people in a room, and half the people have the product and half the people don't. So all the people on the other side, they want to buy low and then sell high, and it's just not going to work. Eventually, people are just going to be like, no, I just can't buy it because we can't keep doing this. So there are some losers, and a bear market is very unfortunate. My strategy is to just sit and hold as long as I can, and then the sell and cut losses, and then just trade within the dip is sometimes what you got to do. So if you traded in this dip, I mean, this is the long dip here. This is from the 15th to the 10th of October. So the 15th of September to the 10th of October is quite a bit of days there. That's, you know, a good amount of time that you could have been trading within this dip, trading up and down and up and down, and you could have made your money back from your Litecoin, depending on how much you had and depending on how well you traded. So you can make your money back. There is going to be some loss in the sense that if it would have kept going up, you would have been making more money, but it just didn't, and for everybody it didn't. And if you were to trade within that dip and do it efficiently, you can make your money back. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any other questions, please put them down in the comments below, and I love to make videos based on your guys' questions if I haven't already made one. If I already made a video where your question is asked, I will just pretty much refer you to the other video. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and as usual, I'll see you guys next time.